Hi everyone and happy Friday. Today is Friday the 4th of July, so happy Independence Day to any of my US watchers. I hope you have an amazing day. So my name's Lindsay and I live in Norfolk in the UK, and this channel is all about cross stitch, and this is Flosstube number 7. So I'm really excited to be back with you today to share all my stitching that I've got up to in the last 3 weeks. So I have been aiming for every 2 weeks, but I've had a really busy month really. In June I've had a weekend away, and I think just with summer we've had lots on, and it has been really hot here. So yeah, it just kind of makes you more busy. I think we've been out and about a lot more and had a lot more things on. So today I've got one finish, which I'm very excited about because I didn't think I was going to have a finish, but I have got a finish. I've got 4 new starts, I've got 5 WIPs, I've got a little bit of haul to share, some plans, I've got painting to share, and a little bit of a garden snippet that I recorded this morning, just popped on the end to show you how my garden is starting to bloom and all the dahlias are coming out. It's looking really pretty, and there's lots of ladybirds in there, but I'll save that for later on. So yeah, so I've got that to share just at the very end if that's of interest to you. And a few other exciting things that I wanted to share with you as well. So I attended the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Stitching Social, which was really nice. It was a couple of hours on Zoom, and they had there was Sally from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. She led the evening, the one that I attended, and it was an opportunity. She shared some information. Other cross stitchers got a chance to come on and share, you know, some of their stitching. There was a quiz. It was just a really lovely evening, and I did start I started a cross stitch piece for that, which I will come on to. So that was really lovely. And I've also signed up. I've managed to get a ticket for the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Retreat. Although it was sold out, there was a lady that couldn't go anymore, so I bought her ticket. So I'm all booked on that to go in September. So I'm very excited, and that is actually my birthday weekend. So I thought that will actually be a really nice way to celebrate my birthday. I've never been to a cross stitch retreat before, so I'm a little bit nervous, but very excited as well. So if you're going, please let me know, because it'd be lovely to say hello to you. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. But really what you're here for is the stitching. So I will get onto that in just one moment, but I have got a few shout outs to do that I'd really love to do. So I've got 4 quite new Flosstubers to share with you today. One's not quite so new, but new to me. So anyway, first of all, I want to start off with crafting with Rebecca. She is a lovely Australian lady, and she's been stitching for a lot of years, and she has got some amazing finished pieces that she shared, and she's also got some lovely WIPs that she's working on as well. But one of the ones that really stood out for me is Rebecca had stitched this massive fairy town, and she's had it framed, and she kind of had it up vertical just to show you how tall it was, and it was taller than her. So it was, I can't remember how many years she said. I think it took about, I don't know how many years, if it was 3 or 4 years, I don't know. It was a lot of stitching, but it looks absolutely amazing. So I would definitely go and urge you to check Rebecca out. And all the people that I link today, I will, you know, that I mentioned today, I will link in my show notes. So next is Kerry from the UK, and she is colourfully cross-stitched. So like I say, I will link all of these below. So Kerry's got a lovely selection of projects she's working on. She really likes Alice in Wonderland. She's got some Barbarana, some Stitch Rovia. She likes all kind of nice modern designs, and she also mentioned that she's done some designing herself, and she's hoping to sell some of those in the future. So that'll be really exciting to follow along with Kerry's journey for that. So definitely go and check her out. Another lovely lady, Kate. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right, from Petronella Rose. I've probably butchered that terribly, so apologies, Kate, but I will link to Kate's Flosstube below. So Kate did used to Flosstube back more like in, I think she started in 2016. She'd been Flosstubing, or it might have been 2020. Sorry if I'm wrong about that, Kate, but she'd had a long break anyway, and she has now just started up again. So Katie's got some lovely projects on the go. She likes long dogs. She's got a beautiful like rainbow one she's doing, some full coverage. She's got really fun beer bottles project she's working on. So I would definitely go and check her out as well. And then I came across another lovely lady, Emma, from Rose Cottage Creates, and Emma's on about her 5th Flosstube now. So she's got some lovely Barbarana and design she's been working on. She'd done a lovely sewing box that she created, one of those ones that she'd converted into a sewing box. It's beautiful. She also does amazing embroidery as well. So definitely go and check Emma out. So I really loved watching all of those ladies. So it was really great to see them. And they are all very new Flosstubers, apart from Kate, but she's obviously new because she's coming back to it. So it'd be great if you could cheer them along and, you know, help their channel grow. That would be really lovely. So I'm going to start off with my finish. So I do say finish, but the only thing I haven't done on this is French knots, because I used to be able to do French knots, but I've not done them for years. And I was watching some tutorials last night and not getting on very well, but it was 9 o'clock at night and I thought, oh, Lindsay, give yourself a break. You can come back to these at an earlier time of the day. I'm much better off in the mornings. So that's probably be my job for tomorrow, is to work out how to do the French knots and add them to this. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. So this is the Hello Spring design. It's designed by Yasmin's Made with Love, the Cotton and Twine sub box, which was the March one. So it did have Hello Spring at the bottom, but actually I kind of think these flowers, they remind me of sunflowers, and I thought this would be really nice to get framed up and have out now. So I'm planning to probably kind of do some kind of flat lay finish and get that framed and fully finished, hopefully by the time my next Flosstube comes along. So that's my plan. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm really pleased how that turned out. So I'll just give you a little closer look. So this, I think, is my first finished piece of cross stitch that I've finished on linen. So I'm very pleased with that. And I did really enjoy it. Now I must tell you, if you've been watching for a while, every time you've been coming along, probably since I started this, I started doing even weave and linen, and I'm like, oh, it's so hard, it's so hard. And all of a sudden I feel like it's got easier, and I've got to the point where I actually prefer stitching on linen and even weave to Ada. So it doesn't mean I'm going to stop Ada altogether, because Ada is quite quick, and compared still to even weave and linen, I can stitch it up quicker. So I don't, and I've still got quite a lot of projects on Ada, so it wouldn't be that I wouldn't ever do them on Ada. But yeah, I feel like, oh, all of a sudden, just like that, I kind of feel like I've turned a corner with it. So I'm really pleased. I think, I don't know, I think it's just the softness of the fabric, and I suppose because I've really been going at it for 6 months, you know, having a mixture of projects on even weave and linen. I've not just been like, oh, it's too hard. Every time I've had, you know, ones that I've been doing on linen and even weave, and I think that perseverance has paid off. So if anyone is new to stitching on even weave and linen, you have to persevere with it, because all of a sudden the tide will turn and it just gets easier. So don't give up on it if you're still new to it. It's definitely worth hanging in there, and I'm so pleased with the results. So, and if you haven't given it a go yet, then definitely give it a go. I can remember when I first started, it was like, oh my god, this is so hard, I'm never going to get the hang of it. But it really, you know, just persevering, it does make all the difference. So I am very pleased with, you know, with that. So that's my first one. So I did have 4 new starts, as I said, so I'm going to go on to those now. So I'm going to share the new start that I had with you, that I done for the Stitch and Social with Caterpillar cross stitch. So I'll show you what the finished design looks like and how far I've got. So this is the finished design. So that's what that looks like, if you can see that. So it's a really fun design, which I thought would look lovely in my kitchen. So really, really like that. And this was a kit from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and this was actually on even weave, which was really nice. So I got these teacups stitched up. So I've done that in a couple of evenings. So like I say, I'm definitely improving, definitely getting quicker. So I'm very happy with that. But yeah, this is a lovely stitch on even weave. So it was really nice that Caterpillar done some even weave as well, so I don't know if they're going to start doing that more on their kits, have an even weave as well. So I think they probably are. I know they have on their Halloween one, not that I've done that one yet, 'cause you have to stop at some point, otherwise I just, you know, I think because I'm still quite new to cross stitch, it all gets a bit too exciting and I want to stitch everything. So I'm trying to calm myself down, but 4 starts in 3 weeks is not probably calming myself down anytime quick, is it? But never mind, that's all a work in progress. And I'm sure because this is my first year at it, you kind of want to try everything and do everything. But next year, I think things will perhaps be a little bit more slower on the starts. We'll see. I keep trying to slow down and then everything comes up and then of course you want to join in, don't you? So my next start, I should have told you that Stitch and Social one, that Spill the Tea, I started that on the 23rd of June. So this next one I did start on the 15th of June, and this is the Caterpillar Cross Stitch sub box, Mythical Tales. So I hope that's in focus. So this is a really lovely stitch. This is by Tiny Modernist, the designer, and I really love Tiny Modernist designs. So this is their sub box. So this is on Ada, a 14 count Ada. So I have switched the colours up on this because there was a lot of green and blue on that one, and I wanted mine to have a bit more pinks and purples and things like that, make it a bit more pastel-y, sort of pretty colours that I really like. So yeah, so I changed up the lilac and the pink. I think with hindsight, I should have had a bit darker purple because then that would have popped a little bit more against the pink. I mean, they looked fine when I laid them on the flosser next to each other, but when you actually stitch them next to each other, they don't pop quite the same as when I looked at the designer's ones, you know, because she's got quite a difference in the colours, whereas mine are closer in colour. So that's something for me to think about next time when I get all adventurous and change colours up and think I'm being all brave. But you know, I'm still happy with the results, and I'm kind of putting those colours all throughout the design so that it's just more in the colours that I really like. But I'm really pleased with the progress so far. So I think that was probably only 1 or 2 nights. So quite pleased with that progress. So cute little dragon sat on a shelf with books. What's there not, what, there's not, I can't get my words out, can I? What's not to love about that? That's what I was trying to say. So the needle minder, that came with this kit as well, this cute unicorn one, so I really like that. So what did I start next? So one of my next starts was, I bought this in January when I was just really getting into cross stitch and thinking, oh, I'll try all the things. And this is a full coverage one by Luca S. 40,000 stitches. I kind of opened this up and I was like, oh, Lindsay, what were you thinking? Why did you think the 40,000 stitches was a good idea? So all you lovely people that do loads of full coverage, I don't know how you do it. So I don't think I would want all full coverage, but I am enjoying it. But I've made a very tiny start. So I'll show you what it is. So this is Flowers Shop. So it is a gorgeous pattern. So I thought, because this was kind of my summer stitch, so I wasn't able to start it on the 21st. I did start this on the 23rd of June. I had 2 starts on the 23rd of June because I'd been away for the weekend, and then I had the Monday off work, and I thought I'm just going to have a lovely relaxing day and do some cross stitch. So I had 2 starts. I had Spill the Tea and this one on the 23rd. So that was a lovely day. Who doesn't want 2 cross stitch starts on one day? That was a good day for me. As you know, I love my start. So yeah, I am really pleased with this design. So I'll show you the little bit I've stitched, as you'll have no idea. So I like to start in the middle. So this little shelf here, I think there's some little vases and bits, little pots. So that's what I've stitched so far. So it looks minuscule on here, but it did actually take, you know, there is a few stitches in there. So that's kind of where I've got up to. But look, this is a rather large, I mean, it's not huge, but it's quite big. I don't know how you all manage with the massive ones. I'm not sure I could ever manage that, because I would be, I mean, I'll probably be years getting this one finished because I like stitching on lots of different things. So if I had loads of full coverage on the go, I don't know how many, I don't think I'd ever finish anything. Right, so that's that one. So my last start is the Summer Mystery Start, and this is a teeny tiny little start. I'm going to show you. So this is by Love Poppet. So Claire from Love Poppet has done. It's the Summer 25 Mystery Cell. There's been 2 parts so far. How lovely is that? So the first part was just the beautiful poppy here, and then the second part has been up here. So I don't know, I might have included the daisy as well, the first part, I can't remember now. But you'll see, I've literally only just started it. I got a few little stitches in last night, and but yeah, I really love this. So I'm still doing last year's sale, but I wasn't stitching then, so I bought that as a kit, and I had that as a present for Christmas. So but I do love Claire's design so much. So I thought when it first came out it was just going to be flowers, but actually now it's got all the little houses, and it feels like it's going to have a real like lovely whimsy feel to it. So that's lovely, and the colours are so bright and lovely. Look, I've put them all, well, they're on my kind of homemade floss drops. So these are little tags from Amazon, and they already had a heart punched in them. So I thought they would be nice and quick, and they're on one of these binder rings. So Catkin and Lily, Kat, she done a really helpful video about these binder rings, because I had no idea what size to order or anything like that, and how they, you know, I didn't even know what they were called because you know what it's like when you start out, you haven't really got a clue. So I will put a link to Catkin and Lily. I'll see if I can link to that particular video, or that might just be to her channel, but Kat's got loads of lovely tutorials, so it's really helpful when you're first starting out. And she's added new ones, and she's added a little series of snippets which are really helpful. They're like 3 or 4 minutes long, so yeah, really helpful. So definitely go and check that out. So that was all my, oh, I didn't tell you, did I? This is where I got up to. So this was my, let me put the board behind it. This is where I got up to. Such a tiny little start, but it's a start nevertheless. So I might try, I think I'm going to work on that one again tonight to get a little bit better start on that. So yeah, so that's where I got up to. So I did enjoy starting that last night. Right, so now I'm on to my WIPs. So I'm doing a stitch along with the lovely Jenny from Jen's Stitchy Corner, and I will link to, Jen has a floss tube, I'll link to her in my show notes as well. And we're both stitching this bee market. So this is from the July 2025 edition of Cross Stitcher. So this is what the finished item looks like, the finished project. So it was so super cute. I saw this in the magazine and I was like, I just have to stitch this. I really, my kitchen is like got this sage green on the cupboards, so I really want to kind of frame it up like this and hang it in there. So that's my plan. I always like to have a plan where I'm going to put this finished cross stitch. I don't know what, whenever one of these years when I get all this cross stitch finished up, I'll perhaps have to move house and have a bigger one, won't I, to put all the cross stitch in. This is what the cover's like of the Cross Stitch magazine if you're looking for it. So that'd be a nice problem to have. At the moment I've got like 2 or 3 finished pieces, so it's definitely not a problem that I've got to worry about anytime soon, and probably won't because I'm quite slow. But this is how far I've got. So like I say, me and Jen are having a stitch along, and we're sort of stitching on this once a week, so it's really lovely. It's so cute, and this fabric is lovely. I'm really enjoying stitching on this. This is a 28 count even weave, and that was the one that was suggested. That's the called for even weave on the pattern. So, and I started that on the 15th of June. So you have seen this one before, I think, on my last Flosstube. But yeah, I'm very pleased with my progress on that. So that's a really fun stitch. That's one of my favourite ones. I think those cute bees, they're just so lovely. Right, so my next one is Meant to Be by Little Dove Designs. Now this is a bit of a monster stitch. This is a really big one. So, but it's not full coverage. This is kind of like a sampler type one. So my first kind of sampler type stitch really. So this is exciting. So this is by Little Dove Designs, and it's called Meant to Be. I'll show you what the finished pattern looks like. So when you've seen this before, I've done the first couple of these, So I'm now moving on and working on these next couple. So let me see how many. So there are of these like red flowers, there's 5 of those. So I'll show you what, like I say, what the finished design looks like in a minute, but I'm really pleased with this. So I started this one, oh I haven't put the, 6th of May, yeah, and this is on, this was a kit and from Little Dove Designs, and this fabric is a Belfast linen. It's a 32 count Belfast linen in natural. It's really lovely to stitch on, and something that I've not had before. When I got this from Little Dove Designs, all the edges had been done, so that was really lovely, because normally I kind of whiz them around with my sewing machine and do like a zigzag stitch, because I haven't got one of them overlocker feet, but a zigzag stitch kind of, that does the job for now. So that's how far I've got to. Let me show you what the finished design looks like, because it is so lovely. So you can see this is the you know, the border bit in the middle that I've been working on. So I have seen someone else has done the house, and she said it was a monster of a house. So I think there's a lot of stitching in there, but I love the word, really love the words. So what is meant to be will always find a way. So that and all the beautiful colours and patterns, that's what really drew me to this. So I am looking forward to this hanging on my wall one day. Right, so what's my next one? Oh, my next one, this is So Nice to Meet You. So this is what the finished pattern looks like, and this is by Love Country. It's a Heritage Crafts kit, and it's on 14 count Ada. And I bought this when I went on a watercolour painting day with the artist Sarah Riley, who designed this. So that was really lovely. So how exciting! I was on a painting class, and then there was cross stitch as well. So there I am I'm in creative heaven then, painting and cross stitch all on one day. How good was that? So that's what the finished design looks like. So I will just show you how far I've got. So I made some progress on this, because this is on 14 count Ada. It, like I say, it has stitched up a bit quicker, and it's not a massive design, but this is how far I've got. So I'm working on that cotton reel. So in this was these colours here, not all of them, but a few of them were like 2 different colour threads mixed together for your 2 strands. So I'd never done that before, so that's sort of been something new for me. So there's quite a few that have got different strands on this one, so that'll be quite interesting to see what that all looks like at the end, because like I say, I've never done that before, but I do really like this design. It's very cute. So I think my craft room, when I get all these finished, it's all going to be just filled with all loveliness. So I've got paintings in here, and then I'll be having more cross stitch on display as well, so that'll be lovely. So when did I start that one? Oh, 18th of May, so that was quite a new start. So my next one is this that I've worked on, is the Secret Garden Salve. Now I know there's quite a few people that have sort of finished this already, but this is where I've got up to. So this time I finished off this bird house and done this little, I don't know if it's a little butterfly, that one. Done that little butterfly. So I've got to come over and start doing some more. I think what's on my next bit, I'll show you the finished design. Oh, I've got a little fox and things like that. There's some bees to add in and things like that. So it's really lovely. Someone who's finished this and done a really lovely job is Cross Stitch Sarah. So I'll put a link to her Flosstube as well. So definitely go and check out hers, because the finished one looks so lovely stitched up. It really does. So I am excited for this to go on my wall one day. So I'm going to keep trying to doing a little bit on that each time, because I love that design so much, and I don't want it just to come out every now and again. So this is what the finished design does look like. I can't wait to do this pot and all these beautiful pink flowers, because they just look so lovely. They really do. So I'm very excited to get going on that some more. So I'll probably try and put a few stitches in with that this weekend. And when did I start that one? So I started that on the 31st of March. So it's, you know, there's a lot of stitch in there, so it'll take me a bit of time to get done, but I'm really enjoying it. So this next one is the 5th WIP I've worked on, But when you have 4 new starts, you probably don't need that many WIPs in as well, do you? Because there's only so many hours, because I mostly stitch on an evening. So this one is Spring Quaker, so I'm going to show you what the finished item looks like. So this is the finished pattern. So this is by Primrose Cottage. So I really wasn't sure if I wanted to do a Quaker, and then I saw Kat from Catkin and Lily. She did do a sale in her Patreon. Not that I was kind of a bit late to the party, but Kat chose the most lovely fabric and some gorgeous threads, some Karen water lilies, and I done one of the colours she chose, but hers is more purple, whereas I've used one of the ones that's more pink and purple. So this is how far I've got, but I really love this, and it's kind of an unexpected love because I wasn't sure, and I thought once I saw Kat's and it looked so delicate and pretty, I thought, well, actually I have to stitch that. So my thread that I'm using it's Orchid, and it's all kind of a mix of pinks and purples, and it's got like peachy kind of colours as well. So I really enjoyed sort of seeing all the colour changes come and things like that. So I'm really glad I've given that a go. And this fabric it's a 32 count Belfast linen. I think it's antique white. So really, really beautiful. So delicate. I just love these colours. I'll give you another little close-up look. So I'm really pleased with how that's coming along. So that one is a real joy to stitch. I really love it. So, and working with the silks as well is so nice. I've never done that before. Right, so what am I on to next? So I've shared all my new starts, so I'm going to share my haul next. So let me have a little look at what I've got to share with you. So I haven't got loads of haul, just a few bits. So the Historical Sampler Company are doing a Halloween stitch. So I've never stitched any Halloween patterns before. So this is a sneak peek of their pumpkin patch Sal. Have I got that the right way round? No, I think I've got it. This is the right way round, is it? No, that way. Who knows? It's a mystery. I think it is this way. I think it's that one. So yeah, that probably makes more sense, doesn't it? Everything's the right way up now. So, but I'm really excited to start that on Monday. So with this one, because it is quite a big stitch, I did order Ada. So look, it's going to be quite a big design. So I thought it'd be lovely to have that out on display if I could. And then, so I thought I would just order the Ada because I thought that would be much better. So my other pieces of haul are, I got the Cotton and Twine June box. So this is by Little Dove Designs. So this is absolutely beautiful. So I'm really excited to stitch this. So, and this comes with the linen, 32 count linen. So I'm very excited to start that. Not sure when I'm going to start that yet, but that's one of my pieces of haul. And then another piece of haul, this is kind of in my plans as well. So this pattern is it's Emerald Forest by Owl Forest Embroidery. And the lovely Jen that I've mentioned earlier from Jen's Stitchy Corner is doing a stitch along with this, and she's going to start a little Facebook group. The pattern is already split up into parts, and the stitch along is going to start on, have I put what day it is? Yes, 21st of July. So I'll put links to Jen's Flosstube, and definitely go and check her out, because we'd love you to join the Facebook group and join in with this stitch along with us. So I've shown you the fabric I've got. So I didn't go for quite as dark green. I kind of went for more this lovely kind of mint green. So this is 32 count linen from Willow Fabrics, and there's not, although it's a big chart, there's not tons of colours. I think there's about 16, so they're the colours. So I'm hoping that they're all going to stand out well on there. So we'll see how that goes. So picking colours and things like that is all things that I'm still learning about at the moment, but it's all good. So what else have I got haul? So I'm part of the Love Poppet Patreon, which I really enjoy. I don't think I showed you last month's. So last month's was Whale of Time. So this is the pattern from last month, so I'm looking forward to stitching that at some point. I'm not sure when I'm going to start this one. I do need a few more stitchy hours in the day, don't we all? And so that was last month's, and then this month's is called Sail Away With Me. So this is the one that Claire has stitched up. So it's a really gorgeous pattern, so really lovely. So again, I'd love to start that one, but I'm not sure when. So yeah, really pleased with those. And then I wanted to tell you about I really can't get my words out today. I haven't been on the wine, I promise. I have had me and my daughter popped to McDonald's and we had some kind of Biscoff Frappuccino that she loves. So I thought I'd give one of them a try. That was quite nice, but for some reason I now can't get my words out. So anyway, this first freebie that I'm going to show you is from Barbara Anna Design. So I'm sure most of you have all heard of Barbara Anna, and this is a freebie. So I didn't know she actually did some freebies. She's got a few nice freebies available. If you go to Barbara Anna's Instagram and then you just click on the link to take you off to, she's got a Ko-Fi shop and Etsy, but on that link she's also got links to all these freebies that you can just literally just download from there. So I thought that was a really lovely design, and I've seen this stitched up by Emma from, what was her name, Rose, is it Rose Craft Creates, one of the new Flosstubers, yeah, Rose Cottage Creates. I think it was this one she put on her stitching box, I think, and it was a couple of weeks ago and I watched now, but yeah, she'd stitched this up and said that this was a freebie. So definitely go and check out Barbara Anna's freebies because there's some really lovely ones. So I would really like to start this one at some point. Again, I'm not sure when, but I will get there. And then another lovely freebie that I got this week was this one. So this is Hello Summer from Primrose Cottage. So this is a lovely summer stitch, and I would love to do this, but I have no pink fabric. I am going to join a fabric club, I think, so to build up a fabric stash, because I feel if you had fabric to stitch on, it kind of makes it a lot easier, and then you have to just order a few flosses. So that's kind of my plan, to build up my fabric stash really, because I only have a few bits really in my stash at the moment. But she uses DMC for this, and there's only 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colours, so that makes it really easy. I mean, obviously you could stitch it on a different colour, but I am a pink fan and that looks so lovely on pink. I think I'd find it hard to go and stitch it on a different colour. So yeah, that's one of the ones I'll get round to at some point, whether that be this summer or next, who knows. But that's really lovely. And to get this free pattern, you just have to be signed up to the Primrose Cottage email list, and then you get one free every month, which is really lovely. So yeah, that's a really lovely fun one to stitch. So I think that is all my haul for this month. So I thought I'd just share what my plans are going to be. So I really want to choose some projects this month which are summery. So I have got Love Poppet Dreaming of Summer, which is a beautiful house with all flowers around. I've got a pattern with a gnome on and some beautiful flowers from Yasmin's Made with Love, which is Grow Your Garden. So I'm planning to definitely stitch on those two and really have a look and see what are all my summery kind of designs, because I'd really like to stitch on those. Now I know a lot of people do like Christmas in July, and now I'm not planning to start anything new for Christmas, but I am going to join in with Christmas in July in my own way, and I'm going to do my sort of 30 minutes a day, a bit of a daily thread, which I try and do. I don't sort of just do one thread, I just try and have 30 minutes. I set a timer, and this is one, if you've been watching my channel before, that I have started. So this is Cotton and Twine, their October box, which is really, it's a lovely advent, but I'm making really slow progress. This is meant to be my festive Friday stitch, and the last 3 Fridays I haven't even managed because I've been away and had things on. I've not even done any cross stitch on a Friday, so that doesn't really seem to be working. So I'll show you where I've got up to. So let me just put this on my board as it be see-through. So what I'm planning is to have this for my kind of daily stitch, because I do find that having a daily stitch of sort of 30 minutes really helps push me to a finish. That's how I got my Hello Spring one done from the Cotton and Twine box. So I've got 2 boxes done so far, but I really want to gift this to my mum in December for an advent, because she loves a picture advent calendar, and I thought it would be really nice for her to have one that she could keep and bring out every year, and that I've stitched for her, rather than I normally try and find like a picture one to buy her, but they're not always so easy to get, and most of them have chocolate in. So yeah, I'm really hoping that if I spend 30 minutes a day on this one, not that I've started yet and we are the 4th of July, but I've had a bit of a busy week this week, that I can push that, you know, well, whether I'll get it finished or not in July, I don't know, but at least I would make a lot more progress than just picking it up for the couple of hours that I have been doing once a month. So we'll see how that one goes. So hopefully by the time I see you in a few weeks for the next Flosstube, I will have completed a little bit more on that. Although saying that, I am hoping to come out next week and do a WIP parade. That's kind of what I'm hoping to do. So because somehow, although I started cross stitching in September, I only had one on the go, which was Caterpillar cross stitch Holly Jolly Kitchen, which I finished, and then I got a new one for Christmas, the Love Poppet Dreaming of Summer, the beautiful house that I mentioned that I'm going to work on this month, and then all of a sudden, before I know it, I'm up to 22 WIPs. How did that happen? I was so funny. I can't remember when I come across Flosstube, but I think it must have been Christmas or January time, and I remember watching a lady who got like 100 WIPs, and I was like, well, how on earth would you have that many? I just can't imagine. Well, it happened. I can see now, it just creeps up on you. So yeah, it just creeps up on you. So I thought, actually, I've probably got enough to show you a WIP parade. So that's what I'm planning to do for next weekend. That's my plan. So you may see if I've done a little bit more stitching progress with that. So I've got a few other little things to share. I've got a paint and share, and I've got a little snippet of gardening to put on the end, only just sort of 2 or 3 minutes. So if you want to get off now, you've just been interested in the stitching, thank you so much for watching. I hope you subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and if you can give me a comment, that's absolutely lovely. I would love to know what you're stitching on this month in July, what your plans are, or what you've been stitching while you've been watching me. That's always lovely to know. I'm sure most of you have had stitching in your hand, hopefully while you're watching. There's nothing I enjoy more than watching a Flosstube and doing a bit of stitching. That's kind of my happy thing to do on an evening. So yeah, that's how I really like to do it. But I'm gonna share my painting now. So this painting I haven't done in the last month, but I wanted to share it because this one got me into painting. So I done an art class, it was 5 or 6 weeks last January, and I decided I wanted to paint a flower meadow. And I'd seen this lady, I probably told you before, in Cambridge, and at a big sort of summer fair, and I picked up a card, not really knowing that she'd done classes at that point. And then I looked on a website, and I think I'd signed up for a newsletter, but I thought she only done children's classes for some reason. I obviously hadn't looked at it enough. I think it was because it was the summertime. She was obviously doing some school, you know, like summer holiday things with children, because she does children's classes as well. And I decided anyway, I really wanted to paint a flower meadow. That was my thing for last year. And then she popped in my inbox with this class for a flower meadow, and I was like, well, I've got to do it now. So yeah, so this was my first painting. So it's definitely not perfect, but I enjoyed every minute of doing this painting, and it gave me so much joy to get back into painting after not doing much I've done lots of creative things over the years, but probably not really done much painting since I left school. And when I was at school, painting was the thing I loved the most. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, alongside cross stitch, this is what I like to do. I also like to do a little bit of gardening. So, but yeah, so I really love this. So this is on a shelf in my craft room. So, but I think really at some point I need to get it framed, because it does give me a lot of joy looking at this, and it feels special because it was kind of my first painting. So yeah, I really love that. So what I will do now is I will tag on to the end just a little bit of gardening. It's like I say, it's only 2 or 3 minutes long. It's just the border at the front of my front garden is full of dahlias and all pretty flowers. So I showed one video of when they were kind of all quite green, but now there's lots in bloom. So I thought I would just share how that's all looking. My grass is a bit dead, so please ignore the grass, but I'll add that on to the end of this video. So if you've stayed this long, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every one of you that comes along and watches my videos. And even if you don't have the opportunity to thumbs up or that to leave a comment, I really appreciate you being here. And if you're a new subscriber, I hope you've enjoyed it and you'll want to come back. I've really enjoyed you being here. So thank you so much, everyone. Take care, and hopefully my plan is to be back next week with a WIP parade of all those WIPs that I've accumulated in just over 6 months. I don't know. Never mind. I've got to slow down on those starts. Let me know your tips for slowing down on starts. Anyway, take care, everyone. Bye. So this is my little garden update. So everything is starting to come out in bloom. These petunias I have set from seed, so I'm really pleased with them. I've got an unexpected little flower in the garden, which is this gorgeous little mini sunflower, and the bees have been loving this. So I didn't even realise that I bought that, but I bought some plug plants, some mixed ones, and that was amongst them. And I didn't realise, because I wasn't even sure I wanted sunflowers in the garden, but actually it's one of my favourite flowers in the garden, because the bees just love it. So that is so nice. So more petunias. The lupins are going off now. They've kind of flowered, so I've been deadheading them. So what is really good is that there's lots of ladybirds starting to be about in the garden. Can you see? And they'll eat all the aphids off my dahlias, which is really good. So these need a bit of deadheading. So these are some pom-pom ones, which I absolutely love. So who could love a pink pom-pom flower? So these ones haven't flowered yet, so there's some that are on their way. I can't remember what this pink one is called. I bought that at a garden show last year. Another beautiful dahlia. I really love the colour of that one. More dahlias here and petunias. And there's definitely more. There was more ladybirds about a moment ago when I was out here. Look, there they are. So that is great to see them out here chomping on all the bugs. So that will really help my garden. So that's just my little garden update. So I hope you liked it. So it's lovely. This is the border at the front of my house. So when I look out the kitchen window, this is the border that I see. My poor grass is a bit dead because we've been having such a hot spring and summer. But this is what it's all looking like. So I'm really pleased with how that's come on. I just need a little bit of rain now for the grass to grow back. So have a great day, everyone.